Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nascar Melling series. We are live in the great state of North Carolina. This is the Rockingham Raceway, the North Carolina Motor Speedway. It was called Rockingham Speedway. That's probably what it's called. Yes, the Rock. Last time out was Wario winning at. That was a race at Talladega. Yep. This is a much different monster today. Speaking of monsters, this is the Zombieland Double Tap 300. Yeah, it's going to be a 300 today and not a 250. Why not? Excuse my son, grabbing the hiccups. That's very unusual. Anyway, we gotta go through. Before we go any further, point scenario. Only the top 18 are even mathematically eligible, because there's only 3 races left. Jerry Springer, points leaders, ahead of Chick Corea by 9 points. Count Dracula's in 3rd place in points. He's 168 points behind. So theoretically, coming out of this race, Springer and Chick Corea could gain enough points that they will eliminate all but themselves, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Grover Cleveland starting on the outside of the front row along with Kamikaze Games, his first pole of the season. Then Jack Torrance and Anthony Perkins in the next row. Count Dracula, we were just talking about him. He's going to start next to Bob Seeger. Seeger looking to crawl completely out of the basement. He's 37 in points. Knuckles the Echidna and the departing Winston Churchill. Then Ward Gordon going to start in 10th alongside driver bottom of the points list this year, Bob Dylan. There's Logan Cloud. He's going to start next to Rod Stewart. There's Sylvester Stallone. And last week's winner, Wario, Vivian James, and Emerald. Then Patrick Starr and Jim Kirk. Stephen King, 4th in points, starting next to John Cleese. There's Leonard McCoy and Chick Corea, 2nd in points, but he's on that treaded outside line. Franklin Clinton and Sammy Hagar. Alan Rickman lines up next to John Goodman. Brian Wilson had not had a good race at all. Finds himself several points behind Alan Rickman, meaning Alan Rickman's likely going to get the 48 unless Wilson has something to show. He starts next to Wee Man. Then Robbie Krieger and Jason Leffler. We're in the back quarter of the field. There's the Fonz and Jerry Springer, points leader. Amy Schumer and Phoenix Wright. There's Starlight Glimmer. This is the last 3 races of the season. But earlier today were the last 3 seasons of Season 9 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, a.k.a. the final season. In other words, well, I guess this is her full-time job. She starts alongside the other woman in the field, Amelia Earhart. Then a pair of the boring Richard Simmons Racing team, Haywood Banks and Scatman Crothers. Ringo Starr himself, Sir Ringo, will be on the last row alongside David Dayton. Ow. I hope there's some insurance on the pace car because that just sounded like it hit the wall. Bill Smith. Ream. Anyway, the Zombieland double tap. No, it was a 300. We're making it a 300. The field rounds turns 3 and 4. Who's going to be able to last the longest? Now, we saw in yesterday's truck race that Brandon Morris was able to win, even though after he lost the lead. We saw it was very hard. We saw the inside was definitely king. Green flag is out, and away we go. KG with a great jump. Oh, and they kind of bounce coming off the corner. Oh, there it is. They are doing bumping. I wasn't sure if this was going to be... You notice the trucks, they must have had very stiff shocks in their setups because they were bouncing up and down. That looks like the case here today. Grover Cleveland, our 22nd and 23rd president of the United States, I should say. He runs in the second. There's Jack Torrance. He's probably just going to go by Jack Nicholson next year for added, just added up. There's both the Rush Fender cars, Bob Seger, Bob Dylan, and then the Steve Wilkos racing car of Rod Stewart. That might as well be might as well be the fourth Rush Fender car, because the third is going to be Jerry Springer. And then there's Wario. Oop. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Grover Cleveland trying to get away, find a way around. Fastest, well, the top 6 are the top 6 speed-wise. That shouldn't be too surprising. There's Brian Wilson, almost cracking the top 20. Oh, I mean top 15, I should say. Logan Cloud, he's falling like a rock. There's 3 wide back here. I don't even see... Chick Corea's not... No, he's not having a good day at all. Jerry Springer, he's in about 21st. This would be a huge day in points. Oh! He's going to fall to the back of the pack. Now, a good thing about that means he can just shake it off. He's at the back. He can get to the inside and start picking off cars. That is the one blessing in disguise. If you got a fast car and you end up in the back. There's Ringo. He started 39th and he's already up into the top 25. Running, oh, and there's his teammate Jim Kirk, like right behind him, and there's the 2 Logan Cloud owned cars right in front of them. 5 Dodges actually kind of in a row on the bottom. There's the Diddy Racing Dodge of Wee Man, his teammate. Sylvester Stallone nowhere in sight. Logan Cloud almost made it 4 wide. Probably wasn't close, but anyway, he's gonna go inside Jerry Springer and crack the top 20 again. Meanwhile, we missed it. Out at the front. Dylan Jacobs got high. That's KG. He got high and in turn 4, and Grover Cleveland was able to pounce. So now Grover Cleveland wins, he leads, looking for his 3rd win of the season, I believe, because he won at, was the Most Sport? Was that Canadian Tire? Or that was Amelia Earhart? He won 2 races, is what I'm trying to say. Alan Rickman now at the back. John Cleese nearly into the wall. Again. David Dayton started dead last at Kansas, and he worked his way up into like 14th if you remember. Ringo has gotten from 39th to 21st in just 10.5 laps. So working out lap 11. That's ridiculous. It's not even funny. Wario's picking up where he left off last week. He's in the 5th. Luckily, as this kind of, I don't want to say as it kind of settles down, but these cars get a little bit more spread out, single file. You won't lose as much spots if you get past. You shouldn't, at least. There's Ringo. He just can't get past the Jerry. Cloud stuck behind Knuckles. Somebody looked like they were low on the apron. Clearly that was a fragment of my... It was a construct of my feeble mind. My feeble announcing mind. As we are having battles up here in the back half of the top 10. So you can see Rod Stewart trying to get a run up high. Oh, maybe he was trying to perform the crossover. That could be. 79 lap race, meaning you gotta make it to lap. Really, lap 40 to guarantee it. You'll be fine. You can see Chick Corea at the back. That's terrible. That's bad news for his championship hopes. Starlight Glimmer also back here. Ward Gordon, well, he actually started about here. Or didn't know, he started 10th, and he's running 31st. Trying to get around Phoenix right. There's Count Dracula. Dayton slowly working as with Jim Kirk. Ringo, who was in 20th, but now is going to start sliding backwards. Unless his teammate Jim Clark lets him in. Which he does. Possibly at the expense of his own spot in line. No, I guess not. Did Haywood Banks just try to make a pass? Oh, Kirk just did cost himself a spot in line as Ringo goes underneath. Will crack the top 20. Jerry Springer's. Looks like the outside line is coming in a little bit, at least in 1 and 2, where you can hang there, but that being said, the inside in 3 and 4 is definitely where you want to go. You do not want to be on the outside. Meanwhile, back towards the front, Wario's picked his way all the way up to 4th at this point. Lap time starting to fall off. KG trying to track down Grover Cleveland, and Jack Torrance trying to track down KG. Bob Dylan's going to try and take 4th back. 4th away, at least, from Wario. Nothing there. Nothing doing. There's Sylvester Stallone. He hasn't won since Evergreen last year. Logan Cloud got back around. He's about to crack. He's about to get in the 16th. It's the highest he's been since like the start of the race. Ringo's in the 20th. Chick Corea just does not have a fast car, it seems, at all. He'll have to rely on pit stops. And as it turns out, Bob Dylan does go to the inside. Flashes down beneath Wario and will likely take the 4th position away. We're already a quarter of the way through this race. Let's go on board the number 81 of Kamikaze Games as he tries to chase down the 43. You can see there's the 57 drawing closer, ever so closer to the back bumper. KG slides up the middle as that would Jack Torrance needs, possibly. You can see he lost nearly a full half of a second. By that time by, KG just got a great jump off the corner, it looks like. Bob Dylan's either helping Jack Torrance or hurting him. Let's see, he's going to dive it down low. Yeah, he is. Was that? I think that was Dwayne Johnson. Well, why is he on a billboard? It was supposed to be in, yeah, he was in yesterday's race. 24 laps complete in the Zombieland double tap 300. That's coming out a couple weeks, I think. Starring Burners Cup Series driver Woody Harrelson. Why else would it be sponsoring this race? Chick Corea really slow. Completely missed the setup. Starlight Glimmer going for 38th on Phoenix right. Gord back to 37th. After qualifying top 10. Now as we move up back towards the front, we see David Dayton crack the top 20. Ring of Stars moved up exactly 20 spots. Well, so has David Dayton. Jerry Springer's also here. Logan Cloud cracking the top 15. Likely to be eliminated after this race, though, as he would need to pretty much max his points out for the rest of the season. There's Brian Wilson. Rod Stewart is falling to 7th. Warriors in the... No, Rod Stewart was always there. Anyway, Grover Cleveland is driving away. We got a 3-way dogfight for the 2nd position on our hands. Kamikaze Games' Chevrolet is leading the Fords of Jack Torrance and Bob Dylan. Cat and mouse game. Who will go with who? Fall off. Oh my goodness. Over 3 seconds of fall off. Well, it makes sense. From such a notorious tire-eating track. Back of the field, nearly half a lap behind. And he's really slow. KG leaving the first person, and he's going to try for the undercut. That could be a really good strategy. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a 2-stop race, actually. Jack Torrance will lead him down. Meanwhile, coming in this time, Grover Cleveland, as Bob Dylan will stay out and lead. Wario comes down. Most of the field coming down this time. So you can just see almost... There you go. Dylan Jacobs wins that first race off of pit road. There's Bob Dylan. He'll bring it down. So will Brian Wilson. Patrick Starr. Leave everybody. That should be everybody. There you can see, there goes Grover Cleveland. And so he's going to come out on track ahead of Dylan Jacobs, but Dylan Jacobs will have the run. No, we were not able to get around, but yes, they were able to close in a bit. Problem for KG is Jack Torrance is right there, and he's looking to the inside. So, what has happened to Jerry Springer? Oh, John Goodman nearly avoided. Problems on pit road, similar to Peter Ojek. Oh, that was pretty much an alliance mate, Dylan, and he got hung up on Jason Leffler, too. And Jerry Springer is out of the race. Another wrinkle as Chick Corea will take the points lead back. And through this all, KG's the leader. But the Ford camp self-destructing. Just pretty much pseudo teammates. Taking each other out. Well, Leffler was also a victim. He is 3 laps down. John Goodman, he got slowed up heavily. Runs 38th. And suddenly, Chick Corea is actually making up a ton of spots. And with Talladega behind, oh my goodness. It's gonna be Chick Corea just probably took command of the championship again. Was that is indeed a pace car with its lights on. Oh my god, are we gonna have a 3-stop race? Now what could be the reason this caution is out? A wreck is my guess. Debris. I'm getting the word it is a debris caution. And nobody is pitting. Probably because it would have to be a 2-stop. Well, this will put a wrinkle in the things. Oh dear. Jason Leffler is laps down. Oh dear. Well, KG is going to be restarting as the race leader. He's going to be on the outside. The lapped car of Jason Leffler going to play a monkey wrench. Oh my goodness. No, no. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This race is wide open yet again, and I have no clue who wins this. So, nice weather we're having, huh? 75 degrees Fahrenheit, clear weather on this fine Saturday afternoon. Wind blowing northwest at about 7 miles an hour. As we pace the what should be pace car lights off next time by. Logan Cloud still in 15th. The restart should be very interesting. If Leffler is slow, this could play right back into KG's hands. Especially since he should be the control car. Well, he will be the control car because he's the leader of the race, so he's the, he's starting out front on the outside line. What will Leffler do? Now, Chick Corea blows a motor. Jerry Springer's still the points leader. I believe it would be a tie if he finishes 38. He needs to finish 36 or higher to take the points lead. 37 and it's a tie. They won't actually determine who wins. I guess at the end of the season they might have to go to count back. Goodness, imagine that. Green flag is out, and luckily, KG got a good enough jump on the zero. He was able to get close. Oh, here comes the zero. Leffler decided to wait before we have nice things. Speaking of out, Amelia Earhart's out. Several drivers. Caught up. Oh! KG aggressively gets back to the inside as Wario goes for third. 3 wide. They are 3 wide for 10th spot. 8th, actually. There's Logan Cloud. He got forced up wide. Oh, and look who's gaining spots as we speak. Chick Corea. Oh, into the wall goes Winston Churchill. Something amiss on the 23. Probably his line through the corner, if we're going to be completely honest. Now, KG coming back. He is a coming. Cars, you can see, they're way. Jason Leffler is fast. Enough of these yellows, and he could get his lap back. Of course, then they might pit. About a 30-lap fuel cycle, so they're gonna need to go a couple more laps. Grover Cleveland once again continues to walk away from the field. Wow, look at how much under a blanket the entire field is back there. Now Jack Torrance gonna go by for the 2nd position. Brian Wilson, Patrick Starr. This field is definitely shaking a bit up. The sort of day Brian Wilson needed to have. You know who's been falling a lot is Franklin Clinton. I wonder if he's just slow. Logan Cloud is falling like a brick. Meanwhile, Chick Corea piecing his way through the fields. Starlight, wow. 3 wide. They nearly make contact. KG gets the worst of it by far. Brian Wilson clear into 2nd. How on earth they did not wreck there I do not have a clue. KG will fall out of the top 5, disappointingly. Patrick Starr to the inside of Brian Wilson. That's another 2 drivers who are Lions mates. But now Grover Cleveland's lead grows. Oh, Logan Cloud. Last car in the lead lap now. Or about to be. For a second and a half was in this. For instance, Chick Corea nearly caught up on that outside lane that nobody likes. KG has fallen to 12th before getting in the line. Even now, Ringo taking a look at him. Ringo started 39. He's gained 26 spots. Where's David Dayton? David Dayton is 9th. He's gained over 30 spots this race. 8th. Going for 7th. David Dayton, could he go from worst to first? There's 28 laps to go. He could honestly do it. As he goes for that 7th spot. Not quite at the line there that time, but he should get it. Ringo is pestering that 81. It's not good for the 81. The 81 not happy. KG is about to pass 60 of Bob Dylan, though. Look at the David Dayton reeling in the 14 of Leonard McCoy. Speaking of reeling in, Grover Cleveland's hot lap times just kind of worn off. Patrick Starr and Brian Wilson at least trying to reel him in. Jack Torrance lurking. KG back into the top 10. That's good. And Ringo's going to start sliding backwards now. And just as soon as he's back into the top 10, Bob Dylan's going to arrow push him out of the track. Wow. Up to 16 goes Chick Corea. Grover Cleveland just got passed. Patrick Starr actually was led that lap and is going to lead this lap too. Brian Wilson all over. We should see pit stop soon. Probably within the next about 10 laps. Patrick Starr gonna lead the way here. Brian Wilson second. Grover Cleveland third. Jack Torrance. Wario, Leonard McCoy, David Dayton. Weeman, Bob Seeger, Bob Dylan. There's KG. He's back to 13. Chick Corea's cracked the top 15. Starlight Glimmer is going to crack the top 20 and knock Ringo out. Ringo is going to begin that slow skid backwards. Alan Rickman slowly working his way up. That's good news. Logan Cloud's still stuck in 36th. Wow. They really distanced. David Dayton's about to crack the top 5. He's going for 5th right now. David Dayton will not get it. He remains in 6th after starting in 40th. Patrick Starr trying to hold off Brian Wilson. The gap looks like it kind of grew, it looks like. Yes, it doubled. Whoa. No, he just looked real slow. Ringo back to 25th. Chick Corea up to 14th. This is the race. The race he needs. And there goes David Dayton for the 5th position. 19 to go. 18 now. David Dayton has got 4 cars to pass and 18 laps to do it in. Can he go worst to first? KG back to 18th. The car might have just gone away from him. Or it could just be the nature of Rockingham. It's really hard to make up ground, but it's really easy to lose ground. Patrick Starr is gonna... Brian Wilson looks like he's gonna pit. Yes, Brian Wilson will start the cycle. Grover Cleveland, they're going for the undercut. David Dayton stays out. Starlight Glimmer. KG at least go for the undercut. Of course they don't. Oh, contact. Debris on the track, maybe. We remain green. Oh, KG was literally the first car to come down. Okay. This could be the strategy of the millennia. Or he could just be ridiculously slow. There's Patrick Starr. Oh, contact! Brian Wilson, Franklin Clinton, Grover Cleveland get together. Wilson will... KG up to speed. How many cars will he get by? Roars by Rod Stewart. Was that what he wanted to do, though? Because he was on the outside. Probably not. Maybe. As long as he's smart. Ooh. Franklin Clinton. There's David Dayton. Patrick Starr down. They're running so long. There's Brian Wilson. So you see, Brian Wilson is going to take the lead. Grover Cleveland not clear in the second just yet. Cleveland's got the faster car, but Patrick's got the lane advantage. And who will it pay off for? It'll pay off for the 43. The 699 is drawn in a bit closer, but... Oh, man. He lost the spot to Wario or Jack Torrance. One of the two. Bob Seger in the top 10. KG did make it up to actually the 12th. Winston Churchill's a lap down. And yeah. "35 cars on the lead lap." Going for second is Patrick Starr. Is now Brian Wilson, who has never... Oh, that's... Oh, I thought it was the pace car. Nope. Just Franklin Clinton Gonna come up right in front of the second and third place drivers, and he is slow. He's gonna hold these guys up. As there are 9 laps to go. David Dayton in the 5th. He could crack a podium. Interesting. These guys aren't even the same line. Franklin Clinton aggressively blocking. He's definitely slower than your leader, Brian Wilson. David Dayton in the 4th. Five laps off the pace. Oh man. 199. Cleveland completely fallen off the pace. Patrick Starr closing in. We'll probably need the 2 the heck off. And he'll need the 88 he'll need to click off these ridiculously fast laps. It's Brian Wilson's race to lose. There are 5 laps to go in the Zombieland double tap 300. And the gap isn't shrinking by that much. Down into turns 3 and 4. The treacherous surface. Four to go. And Franklin Clinton has driven up. This is sure to be interesting. Could this play into Patrick Starr's hands? Franklin Clinton gonna take away the preferred line. Will this allow... How much will this allow? Patrick Starr's close to within almost a second. 3 to go. Starr's a-coming. Patrick Starr versus Brian Wilson. As David Dayton will try to take third. 2 to go this time by. The gap down to 4 or 5 car lengths. Under 4/10. There you can see the gap. The battle for first and the battle for third. Patrick Starr. Can he do it? Or will Brian Wilson hang on for his first win? Wilson walks it up the track. Patrick Starr's going to draw in another car length for 2. The white flag is out. Wilson about a lane up the track. Patrick Starr, if he's got anything, he's going to need to do it here. Going into 3. Starr dives in and not enough. Well, maybe here we go. Patrick Starr looking down low. It's not going to be enough. Another lap, and I think he would have had it. But Brian Wilson wins the ridiculousness. No, the Zombieland double tap 300. And David Dayton from last to third. Wow, what a finish. Brian Wilson finally getting it done. Took him 62 races. But he's finally in the victory lane. Chick Corea finishing 12th. Managed to get by KG Starling. Ringo just outside the top 20. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. Springer took damage. Amelia Earhart had an engine problem. That was a nice saying. Brian Wilson really needed to play catch up to possibly earn himself a ride in Cup next season. And when his teammate who was around 90 points, no, not quite that much, but he had opened up the gap, finished 24th. Brian Wilson answers with a win. What a way to cap off an exciting Saturday. Our announcer, WesternCaves. The Melling series is going to take 2 weeks off, and we'll be back at you at North Wilkesboro for the penultimate race of the season. We hope to see you then, and hope to see you tomorrow for the Cup race. As always, I've been announcer Logan, Western Caves. I will see you next time.